Good afternoon, everybody. So, Rafael Vazquez, Milwaukee Technique, Milwaukee Master, hate me, love me, whatever you prefer. Now, you might say, hey, what's with the tank top? Well, first of all, it's like 30 degrees Celsius outside, pretty warm in Spain. And second of all, the video that I am eagerly recording today has a lot to do with tank tops, bodybuilding, muscles, and whatnot. The link between weightlifting and how it can help you develop your voice. Ha! Okay, I just pissed off 75% of the singing teaching community, I suppose. Now, I have to really speak from experience because, I mean, not only I'm a singing teacher, but I'm also a personal trainer. And basically, throughout my years in college, I was faced with this, how could I say, this controversial issue of exercise in general, especially weight training and singing, because my teachers and coaches and so on said, no, that's a sin, that's the devil, avoid it like the plague, because of tension, it's gonna place tension on on your neck or on your shoulders and actually I unfortunately I listened to that advice and it didn't help. I must say that before I became anything in life, such as a lawyer and then a teacher and eventually a voice teacher and so on, I was an elite sports man in a way. I was judo Spanish champion. I was very much into weightlifting. I was a boxer. I did so many things. I mean, my life was around sports. Until I basically became a singer, and it was somehow forbidden. I mean, the only thing that was advisable, but like in semicolons, was, for example, swimming, but then you had to be careful because ear infections and whatnot. It was like, dude, I mean, they put you in a cage, and it was very overprotective. No disrespect, maybe they did it with the best of intentions, but it definitely did not work out. So this video basically is to actually debunk, for example, the fact that in order to be an opera singer, we have this stereotype of, excuse me, but fat path, right? Like, you have to be large, yeah, let's use the euphemism, in order to be a proper opera singer. And that's fake. Just look at some examples that I will portray in this, this video is going to be divided in 3 parts. This is the intro, then I'll explain some theory, and then there will be a tutorial. So look at Mario del Monaco. Look at Franco Corelli. I don't know, were they fat? Were they large? No, right? I mean, those are only 2 examples, but they had massive voices, and it was extraordinary. Those are only 2 examples, and I could go on and on and on and on. And in fact, there are pictures and so on. But I must say that it was not until I met James McRae, and I don't know how, because at the time I was combining jobs. I was a judo instructor whilst I was studying and then singing, and it was a bit of a nightmare. I basically brought up the weightlifting thing. I said, of course, why should you not do that? And I found out that part of my vocal underdevelopment was the basically lack of connection, or disconnection between my mind and my body and my voice and my body, right? And I started weightlifting again, and I believe that the combination of the Milwaukee technique and weight training basically brought me to the best singing shape I've been in my entire life, that I basically portrayed when I sang Norma, and I will include a clip. I mean, is this Milwaukee? Is this not? I don't know, because actually I will, you know, it's a bit of a spoiler alert, but I will post in these videos pictures of Mario del Monaco's torso, for example, and Mario Lanza, and so on, and you know, what's the link, and some other surprises. So stay tuned, because I believe nobody has ever addressed this, and this is something that you should keep in mind if you are thinking about engaging in a professional career, because nowadays your voice is something, but your physique is something as well, and you gotta take care of it. And I'm telling you from day one that if you do it properly, weight training or bodybuilding or whatever you want to call it, it is not going to hinder your singing. In fact, it's going to help you. Why? Because a singer is an athlete. Bingo. That's it. I said it. All right. With further ado, let's start with the video. I hope you enjoy it. Bye for now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are with this video that, you know, Monty Python would say, and now for something completely different, because as I said in the intro, I don't think anybody has ever addressed this link between physical culture or bodybuilding or weightlifting and singing. And there is a big link that really can make a difference. So who is this guy? Chris Dickerson, Mr. Olympia, 1983. And who is this guy? This guy is Mark Forrest, who was Mr. Venice Beach and, you know, other titles. What do they have in common? They were both opera singers. Yeah, prior to their bodybuilding careers or after their bodybuilding careers. Now, let's go far way back in time and let's talk about the castrati. Yeah, the castrati. So, what happened to the castrati? You know, the castrati appeared first in Italy in the mid-16th century. And basically, you know, it was published in Rome in 1553. By the late 18th century, you know, changes in the art initiated the decline of these heroes. Finally, after the unification of Italy in 1961, everation was officially made illegal, castration, right? And basically, in 1902, a ruling was extracted from Pope Leo that no further castrati should be admitted in the Cappella Sistina. And the last castrato to survive was Alessandro Moreschi. Now, what did the castrato have in common with these bodybuilders that I'm showing here? Well, the thing is that the castrati, as the castrati grew, the lack of testosterone meant that his bone joints did not harden the normal manner. Thus, the limbs of the castrati often grew unusually long, as did their ribs. This, combined with intensive training, gave them, unrivaled lung power and breath capacity. So I'm linking expanding your rib cage, like these dudes you're seeing on the screen from the silver era of bodybuilding, that they basically, apart from building their chest, they were obsessed with expanding the ribcage for aesthetic reasons and also for health reasons into this. Now, take a look at this picture of Mario del Monaco and tell me what you see there. That's a very powerful torso, a very expanded, in these both pictures, very expanded rib cage. And the sound he produces, it was undeniable, huge. Mario Lanza, another example of a very, very huge, big rib cage. And here, he was quite athletic until he gained a lot of weight, and eventually that led to his death at only 38. He was a boxer, and he was very athletic. Now, let's go to the beef. This guy's name is called Reg Park, born June 1928, and he died in November 2007. He was an English bodybuilder, businessman, and actor. He was famous, along with Steve Reeves, for becoming, the portrait of Hercules. There is a big discussion, going on if he took or not anabolic steroids. Apparently, he was a genetic freak, and thus his development, as you can see in the picture. He was not a singer, okay, but we're gonna use his methodology to expand the rib cage by using weightlifting as a vehicle. Now, he learned this from this very guy called Vince Gironda, the Iron Guru, born November 9, 1917, and passed away on October 1997. This guy passed on a lot of knowledge to the bodybuilders of what we call the silver era, pre-steroid era, pre-Schwarzenegger era. So we're going to semi-follow this program by Reg Park, in which he stated that in only a month he added several inches to his rib cage. Not only with the exercises that I will show later, that are gonna come in a minute, but also other exercises that I will explain in another video. Okay, so the first exercise will be breathing squats, right? One set of 20 repetition of breathing squats that I will explain in the tutorial that accompanies this. In superset, that means without a rest, with breathing pullovers, which, as you see, stretch the rib cage. And finally, breathing dumbbell flies, in which we want to achieve a Now, what can I say about that recording? That I was in great shape, and that I was working out, and that I was doing the exercises that I'm showing right now. And my voice was at its best. Okay, so here I am again. Sorry about the length of this video, but I believe it's worth it, because it's gonna debunk many myths and it's gonna help some people. First of all, be not scared. Do not be scared of going to the gym and lift weights. If you're a singer, period. Now let me explain the science underneath or supporting this thesis. And I'm going to read a few passages, and then I'm going to give you some practical explanation. The ribs, as somebody called Dr. Madeira says, are flat curved bones that are attached to the spine, in back to the sternum and to the sternum in the front. The rib cage has a remarkable elasticity, which is primarily due to the costal cartilages. Costal cartilages are strips of dense tissue that serve as connectors of the long ribs to the sternum. Ribcage growth during childhood and adolescence occurs primarily in the costal cartilages. Now, during the early 20s, in the vast majority of males, but this can also be applied to females, the costal cartilages ossify. Now, I differ with this study. It's actually, they start ossifying during the 20s, but they do not fully ossify until basically you are around 30 something. Okay, so this is an update. They ossify or become fixed. After ossification occurs, with training, forced breathing and stretching are going to have little effect on increasing the size of the rib cage. I agree. When ossification occurs, a flexible tissue is no longer able to stretch in a way. But an older trainee can still, however, increase slightly the thickness of his or her ribs with progressive resistant exercise. And breathing pullovers will have a significant effect on the hypertrophy of the involved muscles. The latissimus dorsi, the lats, what badly called the back muscles, intercostals, pectoralis major, diaphragm, and serratus anterior. So what does this mean? And this is an advice for you guys, especially under 30. If you perform a similar routine to the one I am going to upload or attach to these videos, you will be able to expand your rib cage and gain a lot of breathing power. And that breathing power is going to basically reinforce the ability, passive ability, of supporting your voice and thus making your singing easier and bigger and more sustainable over time. I have always said that the Milwaukee exercises, and they date from 1907 basically. What they do is they build the voice. They work the muscles of the voice, both the muscles that contribute to phonation, right, and the muscles that contribute to breathing, the breathing apparatus. I will soon make another video about appoggio or support or whatever you want to call it within the Milwaukee parameters. But I believe this is very important. Why? Because the Milwaukee technique is like going to the gym, but for the voice. And if we apply the same principle and we train our bodies to help develop further other muscles that are going to participate in phonation, then you get the best of both worlds. And that is exactly what happened to me when I met McRae, and I was encouraged to go back to my my weightlifting regime. My voice improved extremely fast. So it was not only the Milwaukee exercises, but it was also the physical aspect of it. And it's very well known that Mario del Monaco, for example, was very athletic, and so was Corelli, and so were many others. So a word of advice nowadays, as I said before, you know, your voice counts, but your physique counts. Well, you have nothing to lose, and you have a lot to win. Because by doing these exercises, you're gonna be in shape, you're gonna look good, and at the same time, you're gonna gain so much power. And I don't say this is like really old. That's why everybody was, you know, mesmerized by Farinelli's ability to sustain such long phrases and have such a powerful voice. And so did Del Monaco, and so did Corelli, and so did Giacomini, and Lanza in a way, although people say he had a small voice. I do not really believe it. But those are only some examples. So again, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. If it doesn't work out for you, this doesn't work, just leave it aside. But what if it works out like it did for me? Because that small clip of Norma shows somebody young, so I was in my 30s, and to be honest, that voice was very big. By the way, during that performance, those boots, those were Mario del Monaco's boots. Okay, well, any questions? You know where to find me. Again, I do not dig trolling and so on, so comments shall not be allowed, but you can always write to me, and for the ones that have written to me, you know that I always reply. Once again, thank you ever so much for watching my videos, and thank you for your support and, you know, all those new subscribers, and I hope I'm helping, you know, because that's the only aim I have. As I told you, I'm not planning on being a YouTuber or anything as such. I just want to share what I know and help. Okay, so that's it. Get strong, get your singing strong, and do not be scared of being, you know, just put back because you don't share the same opinion as so many others. All right, bye for now. Bye. Okay, guys, so now we go to the last part of this video, the actual tutorial. So we're gonna follow, as you see, Reg Park's program on expanding the ribcage. First exercise is breathing squats. So if you don't know how to do squats, please do research, because this can damage. Load your bar, you know, with a moderate to heavy weight. You want to increase eventually the load. So what you do is basically you breathe deeply 3 times before going down. Then you don't breathe during the movement. So you brace yourself, you come up, you breathe again 3 times, and you do it. This is going to have a very, very deep impact on your nervous system, and obviously on your breathing mechanism. I would say that for the first 15 repetitions, I would breathe 3 times, and for the last 5 repetitions, I would increase the breathing to 5 deep breaths. So what do we want to accomplish here, apart from proper, you know, leg development that also can help you out with your voice and overall strength? We want to basically hyperventilate, yes, but we want to, you know, the air to expand every beat of our structure. Squats are, you know, the king of compound movements, along with deadlifts, and this is preparing the body to what come next. It would be the pullovers that are more like an isolation movement. So again, please do respect the form, go down, deep down, as we say, ass to grass. Breathe, brace yourself, and go up. Okay, now we're gonna superset, which means we don't rest between exercise number 1 and exercise number 2. As I indicate here, we want the bottom to really stay low during the whole exercise and the arms to be as straight as possible, not to bend them. Of course they will bend actually, as you see, but we want to keep them as straight as possible. The bending of the arms, obviously, it's because we want to keep our shoulders healthy. Otherwise they could dislocate. All right, I'm using again a moderate weight. If in the breathing squats I was using around I don't know, 50 to 60 kilos, and again you want to increase the load as you get better. Here I'm barely using 12 kilos that I would increase. Now the aim of this exercise, actually all exercises, is not heavy lifting but heavy breathing. So here what I do is I perform the movement, I breathe 3 times, 3 big deep breaths. I hold the weight back. I feel a huge stretch on my rib cage all the way to basically my pelvic bone, and this is again contributing to expanding my rib cage. Okay, so the first set is going to be a superset with the breathing squats, and then I will incorporate 2 more sets, resting around 60 seconds between sets of 10 repetitions. Again, after resting for 90 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever you want, we're going to perform the last exercise. Dumbbell flies with bent arms, because we want to keep our shoulders healthy. Here you can load weight. I believe here I'm doing, I'm performing the exercise with 22 kilos on each dumbbell. See how I really emphasize the stretch at the bottom and the breathing. I breathe very deeply as I go down, I stretch, and then I breathe out and I come up. Okay, I believe it's a bit of fast tempo. I would personally do it slower, but I didn't check it out. Okay, and once we finish this, we stretch for 5 minutes. We stretch the pecs, we stretch the arms, and that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this is helpful for you. Remember, singing is an athletic activity, so the more you invest on developing your athleticism, you will benefit from it. Running is okay, but nothing is going to be more effective than weight training. Okay, good luck, and any questions, you know where to find me. Bye.